But before we evolve the 5 Pokemon, shiny. You can't even... Wait a second. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the video and welcome into what potentially could be a semi-long video. So if it is long, I do apologize, but I know I haven't made a video in a little bit over a week now, so there's a lot to talk about. First off, I just want to apologize for the lack of videos the last week. I had some family coming into town and I wasn't really prepared with videos already scheduled and stuff like that, so I just didn't have time to even go out to go and play because I was spending time with family. It's just a lot was going on, so I do apologize for that. But now that they're sadly gone, we are back to our regularly scheduled programming where I'm actually going out and playing and getting videos out for you guys more consistently. So let's just hope nothing interrupts that. Now, first thing I really want to talk about, but we're not really going to get into it too much, it's the fact that Niantic debuted Shadow Raids while my family was in town, so I wasn't able to make a video on it. But as you can see here, there is actually a 1-star Shadow Raid happening in a little bit under 10 minutes now, which I'm really hoping that that's going to be a Shadow Beldum, because Shadow Beldum can be in the 1-star Shadow Raids. But the downside to the Shadow Raids, I'm just gonna say now, is the fact that the floor for them is 666 instead of the standard 10-10-10, which is understandable, but still kind of sucks, you know? They can't guarantee a good Shadow since it is some of the most meta-relevant Pokemon around, so it kind of makes sense, but still a little upsetting there. But we'll talk about that more when the raid actually does pop. But before that pops, we actually have something else that we really need to talk about, and something that actually kind of annoys me a little bit. Well, I wouldn't say annoyed, honestly. It's more of the fact that it's kind of useless that Niantic added this to Pokemon Go, in my opinion at least. And what I'm actually referring to is that through the Let's Go research, you were actually able to claim a Master Ball in Pokemon Go for the very first time. So we're actually going to evolve 5 Pokemon real quick so we can actually get that animation, and then I'll explain why I think it's honestly a useless addition to the game. But before we evolve the 5 Pokemon, shiny. You can't even... Wait a second. It evolves into one of... This thing has one of the coolest shiny evolutions. I'll throw a picture up on screen right now, but it is one of the coolest. Like, it is like an all gold shiny. I'm actually beyond blown away. What a start to the video. Shundo. That is so good. A 12-15-50 shiny Galarian Farfetch. But before we do that, we have to do 10 excellent throws. I already evolve it right now. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set it as my best buddy, considering I just got Poe, my 100% IV Pancham best buddies. I'm going to be setting this as my best buddy, and hopefully by the end of this video, because it is about to be Regigigas Raid Hour, I have those 10 excellent throws and I can evolve it by the end of this video. I am honestly so blown away right now. You guys have no idea. I'm sure you guys are as blown away as I am. Absolutely nuts. Well, time to evolve 5 Pokemon real quick. So the 5 evolutions are finally done, and would you look at this? You have received a Master Ball. This animation is honestly so cool. It's so... I don't even have words to describe it, honestly. It's just super nice. Like, the animations in Pokemon Go, let me be real, like the little cutscenes that they add, honestly are usually really good. The very best Pokemon with the ultimate level of performance with that you would catch any wild Pokemon without fail. Blah, blah, blah. Professor Willow, the only person that cares about you is Angela. And research is done. Ooh, we get a star piece. That's actually really good. But okay, here's my like complaint with the Master Ball and why I think it's a useless item in the game. The reason why I think it's useless is the fact that everything is fairly easy to catch in Pokemon Go, and I'm not sure if you can actually use it on legendary Pokemon or not, but if you get a shiny one from a raid, it's a guaranteed catch no matter what. The only reason I could see it being used if you can't use it on a legendary raid is for Galarian Bird, because they have the impossible catch rate of like 0.2% as far as I know. That's literally the only reason I could see it being used for anything, really. The only way I could see it being used other than the Galarian Bird is if you can use it in raids and you end up knowing the hundo from a legendary raid and you end up getting the hundo and run down to your very last ball, and then you're forced to use the Master Ball or risk it running away if you miss the last throw. You know what I mean? Other than that scenario, if you can use it in raids, I don't see it being very useful. And the fact that you only get one of them, maybe in the future we will end up getting more through special research and stuff like that. Very rarely, I would say, if they even do it. I just don't see it being very useful in my opinion. Like, it's cool that they added it, don't get me wrong, but the fact that it's in Pokemon Go, because like when would you use a Master Ball in game? If you're like shiny hunting a legend and you use a quick ball and it breaks out and you don't want to risk it dying. Master Ball. Like, I don't understand. But with Pokemon Go, if you get that shiny legend, it can't run away. I hope what I'm saying kind of is making sense to you guys. Like, I've seen so many clips of people just using it on Bidoof. So like, that just proves how useless it is, because people are just getting rid of it on meme Pokemon. Useless. But the 1-star Shadow Raid has officially popped, and it's actually going to be a Bellsprout, so I'm actually going to head over there and do that real quick. Oh, we actually have another one popping in 35 minutes. That's going to be during the Regigigas raid hour, so maybe we'll do that one as well if it is a Beldum. Let's go up into these Shadow Raids and explain to you guys why I'm annoyed with those as well. Just so many updates to Pokemon Go that I'm annoyed with. They're cool updates, don't get me wrong, but there is definitely things that they're doing wrong about them, and we'll get into that in just a second. And would you look at that, guys, I actually got this nice quality of life update where I can actually see the amount of people that are in a raid before I actually join it, which I have seen this going around on Twitter, so I'm super happy that I can actually see that. Still does not make up for the fact that Shadow Raids are kind of ruined, if I'm going to be honest. And we're actually in the Shadow Raid now, and here's why I think these Shadow Raids aren't that good, but also at the same time still really good. The reason why I don't think they're good, and we took that out, no problem whatsoever, is the fact that these are not remote raidable just like Elite Raids, and that's what pisses me off about it. With everything that Niantic has done recently to nerf remote raiding, and they go out and do this, preventing us from doing remote raids even more. But like, I can kind of understand it with these Shadow Raids, because Shadow Pokemon are some of the best in the game, and people would be spending crazy amounts of money just grinding these Shadow Raids to get Shadow Mewtwo and all these good Pokemon and all that stuff. I understand, but it still sucks, you know what I mean? But shiny Beldum, nope, I have 60 CP, no idea what the hundo is, but we're gonna check it and find out if I could actually catch him. Did I manage to get lucky with the Bellsprout? Okay, 11, 11, 15. That honestly is not that bad. I could Purify, get a 13, 13, 15. Honestly, not too bad, especially since the floor is 6, 6, 6. Can't really complain too much about that in all honesty. And now that you see here, the Master Ball is actually in my Pokeball section. Just noticed this now. I was actually going and checking my inventory, but it has a red 1 on it, which means you can only carry 1 of these. So if we do get research with more of these in the future, you're gonna have to use the 1 before you can actually get the other one, kind of like with the Super Rocket Radars. Actually, the Super Rocket Radar doesn't have a red 1 next to it. I don't exactly know if we're gonna get more of these. I'm starting to lean to the fact that we're not. We'll see about that though. I'd be surprised if we get more, if I'm being completely honest with y'all. But yeah, the fact that they can't be remote raided and all that stuff, super annoying, but still kind of makes sense, because it kind of makes the game a little bit more fair for everyone, but also a little bit more unfair, especially for the people that live in like New York and California versus the people that live in rural areas and don't have people that can go out and raid with, you know what I mean? So yeah, just kind of wanted to voice my opinion on that type of stuff, since I haven't been able to go out and make videos and whatnot about all this stuff, considering my family was in town and didn't want to make separate videos for all this stuff, since it is technically like old news at this point, because I think the Master Ball has been out for probably a few days now at the very least. It could be honestly more than a few days. Could be nearly a week at this point. Same with the Shadow Raids. They both came out relatively at the same time, and really didn't want to make separate videos for them, so they're both mashed into one, short and sweet. But Regigigas raids are about to start. Waiting on my buddy to get here. Until then, we're gonna go see if we can find myself a shiny. So I just did a Team Go Rocket, currently in the catch right now, and I noticed something that might be an answer to one of my questions that I was asking earlier that I didn't know about. You can use that Master Ball during Premier Ball catches, which leads me to believe that you will be able to use the Master Ball on legendary Pokemon and Premier Ball catches, such as 5-star raids, 1-star raids, 3-star raids, Mega Raids, any type of raid that involves Premier Balls, which I think is kind of cool and kind of makes it at least, oh my gosh, what a terrible mudkip, and makes it at least a little bit more useful in the fact that if you have a hundo Pokemon from a raid and you know it's a hundo and you have 1 ball left and don't want to risk losing it, you could use your Master Ball. But other than that, in the Galarian birds, don't see it being very useful. So quite literally, I did 6 Regigigas raids, as you can see here. I didn't get any of them on camera because I was hanging out with some buddies IRL. This one was a trade, and let me tell you what, it was absolutely horrendous. But 6 Regigigas raids, and this was the highest CP I got, which is a 30-40 weather boosted, which honestly trash, and obviously did not get the shiny, which kind of sucks. Just an awful event for IVs, man. Like, honestly, I'm a little upset about it because the IVs were so terrible. But speaking of IVs, on the plus side, I managed to get a 100% IV Houndour while hunting today, which can be Mega Evolved from Houndoom, so super excited about that. And also the other day I did get a perfect Puchaina, so that's really cool as well. So I got that 2 Hundo Doggos. I'm very happy about that. Well, quite possibly the best thing to happen from the Regigigas raids is the fact that I got my 10 excellent throws, and we can now evolve the shiny Farfetch'd into shiny Sirfetch'd. This thing, I'm telling you guys, is one of the coolest shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Look at it, all its beauty. It's gold. God, the green and gold looks so good. Y'all have no idea how happy I am about this. And that's a Pokedex entry on top of that. That is absolutely beautiful. And I'm also going to give him a fun little nickname. We're going to nickname him King Arthur, you know, for the sword. King Arthur. Honestly, I really can't complain too much about today. It's been good. But quite literally, can't really complain too much about today. I got a new hundo, got a new shiny, got a really good shiny. Let's be honest, one of the coolest shinies in my Pokedex right now. And probably one of the hardest to get in the game, since most of the time you can only get it from eggs and special events, obviously, like this one. But overall, just kind of wish I would have got that shiny Regigigas, because that's such a good looking shiny Pokemon, good looking shiny legendary Pokemon on top of that. And kind of wish I at least got a good Regigigas, you know. But we got the Master Ball, we did some shadow raids, talk crap about Pokemon Go, you know, the usual on this channel. But either way, guys, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all those good things, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Yeah, as you can see here, oh no, you can only have one. You can only, if you see here, the fact that